Hello everyone. In today's video I was going to be continuing my Tears of the Kingdom playthrough series. It's been a little while since I've actually done these videos. In the last episode I got more than I expected to get done, which was to go to the Satori Mountain region, which I did that. I got all the stuff from Satori Mountain, but then I had enough time to go to Rito Village, so then that's what I decided to do. As you can see, now I'm here. I did some off-camera grinding and got the Snow Quill Tunic, which will be needed. If you want to know how to get the Archaic Wyrmgreaves, basically how to do so is, at the Great Sky Island, near the, let's see here, the Ability to Rise Shrine, there's going to be like this tree stump next to it. You can't really see it on my map, but there's this tree stump. Once you go there, you ascend through the, I think it's right here actually, you ascend through the part where there's like a roof sticking out of it, and then you go up there. Once you ascend into there, you'll see a chest, which then you grab the Archaic Wyrmgreaves. If you don't, however, get that, you can just go to the Rito clothing store, which is around here somewhere, and buy the warm pants yourself. Now we're going to continue on. There's some more cutscene stuff here that I'll be skipping. Now after all that, basically Teba had a son named Tulin, which he's going off to go doing a scouting duty and looking for food over there, since there's a big blizzard at Rito Village. So basically now we're going to go help him. Which surprisingly, as mentioned in Breath of the Wild by a lot of players, people are saying that there'd be like new champions to replace all the original ones, like Mipha and Revali and all of them. In this case, surprisingly, Teba's son Tulin actually replaces Teba, which felt like he would have been replacing Revali, but surprisingly, no, his son actually replaces him. So now we're just going to continue on. Just don't worry about the Blizzard Robe. They don't have too much health, but they can do a lot of damage, so you have to be careful of that. Although his wand, however, will freeze enemies, and if you take it to the Break Apart shop in Terrytown, you can actually get it disassembled. Which, yes, as you all can see, it's that NPC named Addison. If you want to, you can place down a stamp and come back to it later. I did on my first account, like my first playthrough, I had a lot of stamps and stuff I had to catch up on, but it took me a while, but then I finally caught up and got everything. But yeah, I'm just kind of letting y'all know. The player, I believe, is allowed to keep this stuff. Yeah. Now Link's going to talk to him, which he's just going to continue talking and telling where the player to go. Which in this case, the player has to go up there. The little yellow dot will say where he is, but he'll say that we're looking for a cave. The game just puts the yellow dot there in case the player can't see where the cave is that they have to go to. So now we're just going to continue heading up the mountain. It hasn't gotten cold enough yet, so I'm keeping my Royal Guards uniform equipped, just because it has like one more extra defense compared to the Snow Quill Tunic. When it gets cold enough, then I'll add it onto Link's clothing, just because I want to have some extra defense right now while I can. Just so y'all know, it's not that campfire that you're looking for. It's going to be a big one. Kind of like the, well actually you can't see it now, but y'all might have seen some bonfires down over there where the Rito camp was. Though, it's pretty much going to look like those. Oh yeah, when I was saying I went off camera, I went to go get more rupees, which I defeated one of those stone taluses, so that's how I got this stone talus hammer, which does 19 damage. I just thought I'd let y'all know. And I got these Zonite swords from the shrine at Rito Village, because I'm pretty sure, well actually was it? It might have been one of those teaching shrines where they teach the player how to fight certain enemies, but I can't remember. As you can see, there's some enemies up ahead. You don't have to worry about them freezing you too much. As you can see, it doesn't do much damage. If you're an electric Keese, I'd say be super, super careful, since electric Keese do 3 hearts of damage when they zap you, which is a lot considering it's one of those Keese enemies. That Bokoblin looks like he has some ice fruit on him. He didn't notice me until now. Ice fruit and stuff are kind of like the replacement ice and fire arrows and stuff like that. Uh-oh. I'm losing all my different stuff. White Choo Choo Jelly also works for ice arrows. If you get frozen, if you move your circle pad back and forth fast enough, you can get Link broken free from all the ice. Now we're just going to continue heading onwards. There's the bonfire, as you all can see. Which we're just going to go through that cave, basically. Which I believe they want the player to talk to her. Now we're just going to continue onwards. The spikes on my weapon look like the spikes here, although I've tried breaking them and they don't seem to drop these spikes. I'm not that sure how to get these regular spikes other than being inside of shrines. But looking at them now, they're identical to these ones. It's a bit strange. Here they want the player to use the updraft, which I'm pretty sure down one of the ices is a bubble frog or something like that. I'm just going to skip it to make the video go faster. Although I would recommend getting the bubble frog, just because the player can get a special armor set that takes rupees instead of actually making the player take damage. And there's a new enemy called a Horriblin. If you watch a lot of my videos, you'll probably seen that before, where the enemy will jump down on the ground and start going crazy. I'm going to break this spear and use this Traveler Spear that he dropped. Now here the player may be wondering how are they supposed to get out of this. Basically, the player needs to light this fire, which if you have a lot of fire fruit, like I do, you'll be able to do that. And then use the game's new mechanic, which is putting down a pine cone, which as you can see, it makes an updraft, which we're just flying up here. The bright caps can be pretty helpful, so make sure you pick those up. Some stone pebblets, I'm just going to ignore them. There's a bomb flower. I used all of them earlier when I was off camera grinding because I was defeating the stone talus. Now let's talk to him. Here there's some Chillfin trout. You can pick those up. They could be helpful later on. While we're on the topic of fish, make sure you still have the ancient arowana fish that we mentioned before. Well, actually, I mentioned. And yep, there he is, that Addison NPC again, advertising Hudson Construction. Now the player's heading for the strange-looking ruins over there. But actually, there's nothing added to my spear, so I'm actually going to look for something to attach, just so that way I can do some extra damage. It's always good to have fused weapons in this game, and it's kind of necessary for powerful weapons. I think around here there's a boss Bokoblin, so make sure you're careful with him. Yeah, there he is. He actually wasn't smart enough to notice me, weirdly enough. As you know, I'll send through here. And here, by the shape of it, it's a Bokoblin, so don't unfreeze that unless you want to fight him. Now we just gotta climb up here. Look over there, you can see that Aracuda has a snow quill bow, or actually not, oh, swallow bow, that's what it was called. Couldn't remember the name. Might be a little bit hard, so you might want to make one of those stamina meals to help yourself get up here. Don't forget that those portable pots exist, so you can use that. As you can see, there's Tulin right now. As you can see, he's mad about that Aracuda enemy stealing his bow. So now I'm gonna go help him get it. Which is kind of like when we unlock his ability. So you click A, let's go. And this is like the most useful one where it launches you. When I'm flying is actually I'll show you all my paraglider trick in a minute. You gotta defeat that Aracuda. They're a little bit hard to shoot some of the time. Now we're gonna fight all these Bokoblins. Which, as you can see, Tulin will fire and help fight for the player. It isn't one of those NPCs that just stands around and does nothing. What's a falcon bow? That's actually a really good bow. I'm gonna drop my current one for that. Make sure you get that blue Bokoblin defeated. And here we go. Alright, after we defeated the monsters, those two Ritos came and they kind of told us our next goal, which is to get up all the way to where the windstorm is. That's causing this blizzard. So now the player pretty much needs to scale the highest mountain in Hebra to get up there. I was telling y'all my paraglider trick. Actually, his ability needs to be loaded. Here we go, it's loaded. We're just gonna climb up here. You do tend to run out of stamina here just because I haven't really upgraded it. What I do when I'm flying is I'll go forward, but I'll disequip my paraglider for like a second and then re-equip it just because it carries on the gust. I don't know why, but I've noticed a big speed difference with my flying whenever I'm tapping B. It's a bit hard to explain, but I do notice some sort of speed how I'm doing it. In my opinion, I personally think they added the Tulin's ability to kind of replace the wind bomb glitch that players did. It's optional to fight the enemies down here, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But I was saying, I feel like they got rid of the wind bomb glitch, but added Tulin instead. Because as you can see, Tulin's ability gives you extra speed while flying. The level 2 construct, he's a bit harder, so just gotta be careful of him. Drop the decent bow. Strong construct bow. Although I think it only does like 11 damage. Yeah. Here the player's gonna have to climb up, so just take your time with this one. If you see Tulin with that blue glow, that just simply means that his ability's ready, because the abilities that they have take time in order to reuse them again. At this rate of time, you may be wondering if Tulin having him follow you is temporary, which it's not actually, and you'll see why later. Kind of failed that. You just gotta take it slow with some of these cliffs. As you can see, Tulin can fly just fine. Tulin's pretty much like the best champion in this game, just because his ability is the most helpful, and also when you're fighting Lynels with him, he'll typically shoot the Lynels in the head, which then will knock him over, which then you can jump on top of the Lynels and defeat him real easy. If you see the yellow dot on my map, it's not actually officially, as you can see, it's like in the sky area. Like, it's not officially on the ground. Now we gotta make it all the way up there. Although the task is pretty easy. Alrighty. This is a wild berry plant, but there aren't any on there right now. I can tell by looking at it. There's another Rito here. You could talk to him if you want to. Which now we're going to continue onwards. As you can see, I put away my glider for like a second and then put it back. That's kind of how I'm doing this. Now we're going to stack these crates on top of each other and do the same thing. I'm going to assume his ability is loaded. It's loaded enough. If you fell down there, you could just ascend through to get up here. But I'm just skipping that. Alright, let's see here. You're mainly going to be ascending through this. We're going to get to this other side over here. Which, as you can see, we're going to ascend right here. It's pretty high up here, so you're most likely to find some shrines. If you want to, you could pin those down and come back to them later. Let's see here. Here we're just going to fly over like this and ascend. There's going to be some more cutscene stuff that I'll just be skipping here. After all that cutscene stuff, a strange voice tells Tulin to continue heading towards the giant windstorm in the sky. As you can see, there's a shrine right there. Here, as you can see, are floating boats. These work as trampolines. Which now we're going to use Tulin's ability to kind of get around. You might want to complete the shrine here, and the I believe there's another one coming on the road. You might want to do those just because on my first playthrough, I had forgotten about these shrines until later when I finally came back and saw them. As you can see, the ice here opens up this chest. As you can see, I get a nice 5 arrows, which will kind of be needed for the boss fight. I'm going to recommend Fire Fruit for the boss fight just because it makes it a lot easier. It's not necessary to have Fire Fruit for this, well, you know, the upcoming boss, but it's good to have. Alright, here we're going to go out this way, and there's this construct here. Typically Tulin will usually knock it off the cliff, but you can try to fight him if you want to. Here we go. I'll keep his weapon instead. I'll add something to it right now. Just add another soldier construct horn. Here we go. I'm just making some simpler weapons to fight the enemies with. Alright, now we're going to jump onto here. Try to fly up as much as you can over here just to kind of avoid these enemies. Get your ascend ready because I'm pretty sure you're going to need it. Actually, maybe not. No, I don't need it. I don't think. Here we go. We're going to put that there. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to get it on there. Put this under this roof right here so that way we can ascend. You can kind of get a good view of what's ahead. Now we're going to ascend through here. So as you can see, there's some stuff here. Some icicles. Just kind of crouch under them like that. What you could do is shoot them with an arrow, I believe, and yep. As you can see, that'll make it kind of fall over a bit. Or you can melt them with Fire Fruit. But anyways, now we're going to ascend through here. Alright, we're at the top, which we're going to go to that gate over there. As you can see, we gotta get all the way over there. Just continue to fly. Be careful not to fall down, because you'll have to come back all the way up. Unless you have that shrine, then you could teleport. Here, as you can see, is the Captain Construct, which you're going to want to try to fight him as quick as you can. I'm going to get rid of his only option as a weapon, this flame emitter. He is a little bit tough, tiny bit. Just try not to get hit by him. At least I got his horn. His Zonite charge fell. Here you can see there's a boat under here, which is a mega trampoline boat, so it's gonna launch you super high. Oh wait, no, actually that comes later. This is just a regular one. Down there is a Flux Construct enemy, as you can see, with a chest on him. You can defeat him if you want to. I'm just gonna kind of skip him to make the video go by faster. Right here, you're gonna need a bomb, that's for sure, because you gotta blow this up. A hammer might be able to work. Huh, that kind of acted a bit strange. As you can see, we're just gonna go up here to where this ice is. So now we're gonna kind of head back in the other direction to get up even higher, which y'all can see the shrine from here. Another boat to bounce us up. As you can see, we're going to jump up again. This is the next part that's coming up. That little house-like structure is pretty much a house where you can kind of have as a rest stop. As you can see, there's some fish and some chill shrooms. And a piece of flint, and whatever's in these crates. So if the player, it's kind of like for if the player were to, it is actually taking forever. I'll just break it with this. There we go. As you can see, I got a lot of arrows from that. If the player was running here with only war meals, this would be the player's chance to kind of make more. These Arrokudas are going to be a little bit annoying. But Tulin can shoot them pretty easily, I think. Wait, actually, no, they're going to fight those constructs over there. While the enemies are distracted, the best thing to do is kind of run by them, just so that way you don't have to fight them. Just because, as you can see, there's a lot of them. If he tries attacking you, just don't worry about it. Got some Arrokuda stuff. Now we're just going to run past them. Here, we're going to have to run. As you can see, that fell. If you start falling on them, you have like a short timing window to use the rewind ability to get yourself back up. I'm not going to worry about that enemy too much. Now we're just going to go over here. Did I miss the shrine? Oh no, it's higher up, I think. The enemies here are going to have time bombs next to them, which they're going to try to use on you. As you can see, it's those strange circular objects. Try not to... Uh-oh, they're gonna blow. Okay, this guy we're gonna have to fight. And his miniature friend. I do not want him activating that time bomb, or that will blow up. Looks like the Captain Construct fell. There's a Zonite spear. You could keep that if you want to. I'll use his spear against him. Here we go. Here, the player's gonna need to use a hot air balloon setup. A simple design will work. Just like that. So as you can see, it's going to take us nice and high. We just need to get over there. And of course ascend. kind of like the final stretch now, I believe. Which is another one of these trampoline-like boats to jump on. You could just kind of try to fly over here, but you might want to jump onto that boat, jump onto this one, and then jump over there. Now we're going to jump through this ice, which, as you can see, there's a mega trampoline, which will launch us super, super high. Which, as you can see, now Link's actually cold, so now it's time to get the Snow Quill tunic equipped, dude. Which now he's going to warn the player that it's getting extra cold up here. If the player wants to, they could quickly go run and grab this shrine really quick, and then teleport to the village to go buy all the clothes and stuff. Because this is kind of like the main area before the dungeon, which is a bit hard to see. But now we're going to continue onwards. Here we are. Now we're just going to continue jumping and flying across the area. Alright, we're at the next gate. Just a few more to go before we actually make it inside, because the player has to go in through the top of the storm. Bouncing even higher. As you can see the boats sailing in the skies. If you get on the main part of the boat, you won't actually see anybody controlling them. As you can see, right above us is where we need to be. Which, as you can see, we made it to the final area. There's this big staircase for us, and of course the final jumping boat, or maybe second to final. As you can see, we're above the storm, which is actually decently peaceful here. Which, as you can see, if the player looks in the storm, they'll see a giant boat. That's basically this first dungeon. So now we're going to dive into it. There's going to be some cutscene stuff that I'll be skipping. Now we're going to activate the dungeon map terminal. Well, in the cutscene, the player sees that they can't actually open the door until they activate all the other gears, which they'll need Tulin's help in order to activate. I think that's going to be a good spot to finish off this video. Well anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, so please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Goodbye.